We saw the fall of our very first Zerg player. It was FXOpen. Marine King took him out. Now the score is 1-0 in favor of Prime, and it's Choya time.
Yeah, it is time for Choya. He put himself out against Marine King, and you can bet that he has the build prepared to take out the Terran player.
You know what I think is, no matter what, whoever wins this game, there will be smiles on everyone's faces during it. I think that's the kind of game we're about to see. Choya is just a fun guy.
Yeah, he definitely is. Keep in mind that today we have a maximum of 7 sets and not 9 sets. This is a best of 7, not a best of 9. The format was changed a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of people not aware of that just yet, but now they are, if you told them.
Hope so.
Well, let me tell you again. In all seriousness, though, the map choice is Akalon Flats, a 2-player map, a pretty small map. This is the map we saw the Oracle build used by Treem just yesterday, and now we're going to see potentially something similar by Choya, but I would rather expect to see some sort of gateway-centric play from him with Mothership Core pressure. But anything is possible, really.
I'm really interested to see what exactly he's going to do right now. We saw already Proxy Stargates, a really popular build against Terran. It's also a build that you expect by now. You hit that on the ladder quite a lot. Yeah. So it's really important that you scout and that you don't play too greedy. The thing is, can Marine King really do that? Not greedy, I think, is not part of his vocabulary.
Yeah, there's 2 things Marine King knows how to do: be greedy and attack. There's no other things that he can do.
I'm excited for this game. I'm really excited. We had a great team match yesterday, and today is already shaping up to be another epic battle between 2 strong teams. Game number 2 is going to start. Marine King is up against Choya here at the GSTL Pre-Season tournament. We have a Kiln Flats, our next map, and it's time to jump into the game. I hope that you guys back at home are ready for game number 2 at the GSTL with Kalon Wolf. Starting to the bottom left, we have our Protoss player. Someone who is quite familiar. He's the coach for his team, but also a player. Yes.
FXO Choya.
Choya, one of the most recognizable figures in all of StarCraft 2. And his opponent to the top left in the orange, in the Prime suit, he is
Marine King Prime.
With a lot of 2s under his belt.
Yeah. As you could see already earlier. Has the pin for WCS Korea on his shirt.
Yes. And, you know, this is a very good map for Protoss, I feel, overall, because of all the choke points you can use your Colossi with in the mid and late game. So I think this is a map where Protoss is slightly favored, in my personal experiences as well. And this is also the map we've seen 2 Protoss players pick against Terrans now in the GSTL.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And Marine King, guess what? He is going straight for Command Center first. He doesn't bother with the barracks. As mentioned earlier, the words "not greedy" don't seem to exist in the vocabulary of this player.
Yeah. This may cause Choya to be a little bit aggressive. He's already going to damage this SCV a little bit because, he needs to get back to work, that probe does. There he goes. But regardless, he pulls another SCV down, and this is kind of a good choice when you're facing Marine King, just to pylon scout so you can put the most pressure on your opponent possible. Wow.
Oh my god, he took down one of the SCVs.
He could, in fact, get the second one.
That should not have happened. I'm really surprised that he let that happen.
Now he's baiting him. Oh, he really baits him here. And Marine King is not sending any other units down. He's not sending any more SCVs. In fact, he could lose this second SCV. He will lose it if Choya micros correctly.
Look at this. I can't believe this is happening. Choya is still microing. Another SCV comes off the mineral line. A lot of mining time lost. Repairs the SCV that is currently building the command center before chasing down the probe. But Choya is already laying Marine King quite a bit and decides to go into a Nexus instead of early aggression.
And he even gets the scout off of the double barracks and the no gas, so he knows everything. So far in this game, Choya basically has map hacks.
Yeah. He knows exactly what's going on, but Marine King is sending out a scout. This has to be a first.
Marine King is sending a scout. It's maybe the first time, but he's going to lose his SCV. Boom! And the probe gets... Will he get away? No, I don't think so. Sloppy assassin.
Well, it's not really. He died for cause, you know.
Yeah.
The CV knew the probe knew from the beginning that it would probably die, but still, I think it's worth it here.
He didn't have a family, it's fine.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to make any special pylons that the other probes can't make later.
Sometimes you have to make a sacrifice, and the probe was willing to do it.
Yeah, he was totally okay with it.
Living the life of a true hero.
As soon as Choya pressed that right click on his mouse, the move command, the probe had no second thoughts.
Yeah. Live fast, die young.
Exactly. It's the motto of all probes.
Well, not all of them. But every now and then, a special probe is being built.
Yeah, very true. You know, they do say, think small, warp big, but
Yeah.
Mothership Core comes out now.
She was 1 in a million. And we have a third base.
That's what the Nexus told her, anyways.
Yeah. So we have a third base for Marine King, and we've talked a little bit about how Marine King didn't take gas at the beginning. We saw him with the command center first going into double the barracks, and then he decided to get the third command center. Now adding those 2 refineries, so his tech is really late in comparison to Choya. Even though the the FXO Protoss player decided to not go for proxy Stargate, any kind of fast tech against this build, but went into a Nexus first. We have Choya with a huge lead in, just in general in his tech. Even though he doesn't go for a higher tech, he just goes for a massive amount of warp gates, but he already has sentries out, he already has a couple of gas units, we have with the Mothership Core.
Choya wants to be a hero. He wants to be the one to kill Marine King with his triumphant gateway push. And this, I feel, is going to just be simply a time warp timing attack with all these gateways. He's going to use the time warp to slow down the Marines and also the repair on the bunker. We saw this yesterday, used with the time warp ability just to stop the SCVs from being able to close the distance and repair that bunker. Then he can drop the force fields around the bunker. There's only one, and Marine King is in trouble. He's actually in a lot of trouble against this push.
Especially since Choya already has a lot of sentries here, can use them for the force fields and of course also for the Guardian Shield, which will be really useful against all these Marines. Marine King still committing to a lot of SCVs, triple SCV production. He doesn't really know what's going on here. He once again did not scout too much, at least sent an SCV out, but it wasn't enough, and here comes Choya.
There he goes, only one bunker. The SCVs are not even close. This is looking like this game is not going to end very closely either. He doesn't have a lot of Marines. The bunker is ignored by Choya. He time warps the ramp.
And that is a smart choice, also going for it right away. Just look at this. The Mothership Core lending its damage to the attack to the time warp, slowing everything down here. And this was really well done by Choya.
He could make a pylon in the main if he wants to with that probe, but he decides not to.
Easily. The probe.
There he goes.
Yeah, probe is still alive and kicking. Could go for the pylon. Here we have the Guardian Shield up, and Choya still on the approach with
Mothership
53
Core,
supply against 44.
Mothership Core about to have enough energy for a second time warp. He could do it on the ramp as he retreats. He's got the energy now, uses a force field instead, and there's the time warp. And with the high ground vision he's got with the Mothership Core and the pylon, of course, he warps in more Zealots.
The pylon finishes, and now Choya has a warp in point right in his opponent's main base, using it relentlessly. Marine King already down to 18 Harvesters. He still has the triple mule, but if he can't fend off this attack, it doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah, and it certainly looks like he will not be able to fend it off. His units are dying as they spawn. His stim will finish. He'll be able to use it on maybe one Marauder. Maybe, I'm not even sure. The last of these units being targeted down. Choya with that forward pylon in the main base is just going to end this one. The Widowmine comes out, and there's no detection, but it's not going to be able to kill this whole army.
It's too late. Choya is dancing his units in Marine King's base. He is the sniper that FXO needed. He is definitely going to take this game. Marine King trying to come to terms with this loss. Even with the Widowmine, he can't change it. The Widowmine isn't even able to burrow.
Exactly. I mean, what is he going to hope this one Widowmine is going to kill all the units? I mean, that's a pretty shallow hope. Does get the Zealot, which gets rid of the rumor the Widowmine attacks the closest unit to it, because that was definitely not the case in that last engagement.
Marine trying to run away, but being caught by those stalkers without a problem. The production buildings of Marine King now taking apart one by one.
Now Marine King is going to have to concede here. Choya is not stopping his mining at the natural, so he still has a mining base, but Choya has two. Yeah. And I mean, if I were Choya, I'd like start a Dark Shrine in his base or something. Like, I don't know.
He's dancing again because he can.
Yeah. Choya needs to find out about all the new Heart of the Storm dances.
Yeah.
He's dropping mules off of this CC. At this point, I think Choya is just wondering why Marine King is not leaving the game, and to be quite frank, so am I. But He's going to lose his production facilities that he's trying to remake here with his resource he's gotten from this base.
Marine King is trying to somehow survive, but Joya is just warping additional units. Marine King is down to 9 supply, guys.
Last
9
time
supply
I saw
against 71.
Yeah, I don't think I've quite seen anything like this. GG.
There we go. There's a point where even Marine King will admit the defeat.
Yeah. You know, you said it before, there's a middle name for Marine King and it's greed, and well, you don't make any bunkers, you don't scout your opponent's going for a gateway push or not, you're gonna die.
Look at that smile. Someone is happy.
He just got Choya'd, man.
Oh yeah, and here comes the banter.
Marine King. At first I thought he was trying to hide a smile, but now I see he's actually just, he looks genuinely upset by the loss.
Lucky is happy. Of course, he just got avenged. His coach
That
took it in his
Gerard
own
face
hands.
is just the type of face that everybody has who watches somebody get 5-gated on the ladder. He's just like, well, yeah. Should have made more bunkers, Marine King, or scouted. He's going to have a talk with him about that. But you can see how the time warp actually changes in a timing attack like this in Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, time warp is really helpful. It was one of the key elements of the push that Shoya just executed, and it worked so well against Marine King. Of course, with Marine King, from the beginning, everything went in Shoya's favor.
Yeah.
This one hero, Probe, really doing a number on the SCVs of our Terran player, taking down 2 of them, delaying the command center for a long, long time. Everything worked well for Shoya.
Yeah, it was a pretty... Just the game itself was kind of one-sided. I mean, you don't have bunkers, you lose. It's kind of a textbook example, but...
He didn't have the SCVs, he had no information at all. Usually when you see this coming, you pull your SCVs a little bit earlier, try to repair as fast as possible. Shoya didn't even have to drop a single force field to kill that bunker.
Yeah.
Not one.
But, Calder, now we may see a Protoss versus Zerg. Look at Amir, he looks... Or, what was it, Emil? I don't know his ID anymore.
It was Emir.
But he looks like he might be the one to come out here. Is it going to be him? Choya thinks it's really funny. He's like, no matter who it is, I'm still thinking about that 5-gate. He's like, you remember when I 5-gated him? I won.
He's talking about the probe.
Yeah, that too.
That was my personal hero in the game.
That really affected the outcome of the game, I feel.
And
Maru, it looks like, was that? I couldn't see.
No, that's not Maru. I think that's one of the new Zerg players. That's Terror, yeah.
Okay, my mistake.
That's not the Marine Prince. The Marine Prince is shorter.
So we are going to see our very first Heart of the Swarm Protoss versus Zerg here at the GSTL.
And we are also going to see the first appearance in the GSTL or GOM booth from one of the new Zerg players of the Prime team.
Yes, this is going to be his opening. Yeah, it's definitely him. I remember seeing him backstage and not knowing who he was, but we're going to find out. He looks extremely young. I couldn't tell you his age off the top of my head, but I'm looking forward to seeing this guy's potential, because someone at this age, like a player like Creator, like a player like Leonot, has so much time ahead of him, like Maru, even his teammate.
This is a little bit of a moment of truth. The Zerg players in the Prime roster have to show their strength. They have to prove to us and to the team now that they are able to compete in the GSTL, in the GSL. And for him, this is not going to be an easy match. It's probably his first appearance in the booth. I don't think we've ever seen him playing in the studio, and of course this adds a lot of pressure. You are suddenly playing in front of an audience, you are on camera. For Choya, this is like, I don't know, this is like so normal for him by now. He has been in the GSL booth countless times. He definitely has a psychological edge over his opponent.
Yeah, I'm in a complete agreement. This guy can choke. This is not only his first time in the booth, but his first time playing on a completely new expansion against the... He's playing against the Joker, man. Choya is the Joker. That's where you pull out of your deck and you play it. And you're like, you can't play the Joker. It's like, no, I can. This is the GSTL. And Choya probably has strategies planned for a potential Zerg opponent, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to be. Map is a smart choice. Velshire Vestige. Good map for Zerg versus Protoss.
I really want to see what exactly he's going to do against Protoss. Two of the most common builds that we have these days is a commitment to Mutalisks and, of course, the Swarm Host.
Yes.
Usually
the Swarm Hosts come out when you're ahead, because it's really easy to dominate a Protoss player once you're ahead. We've seen pushes with Spore Crawlers to stop detection as well.
Yeah. Belcher Vestige is going to be the map in our Protoss versus Zerg. We have Terror up against Choya, very young player for the Prime team, one of the Zerg players that they have in the lineup now that Boom Boom has left the team. It was already a while ago, of course.
Yep.
And Choya, the captain, the manager of FXO, with a win against Marine King. Yeah, showing us that he's serious about this. Can he take the second victory?
He took out the player that most people were talking, most people were scared of, just with a simple timing attack. I mean, Choya does not pick favorites. He will hit you with some sort of timing, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from. Even if you love him, he's gonna attack you.
Yeah. And we are jumping into the game, ladies and gentlemen. We have Choya up against Terror. We have FXO up against Prime here at the GSTL Pre-Season with Carl and Wolf.